So you tapped in with a moment with Louie. We got 2 birds, 1 stone. Let them know your name again.
Yo, my name is G. Lou. I'm 1/2 of 2 birds and 1 stone.
My name is Record Ralph. 1/2 of 2 birds, 1 stone.
And you guys are a group, right?
Yeah,
We are a group.
hip hop group. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
both solo artists, and then we came together to make 2 birds and 1 stone, and we're here.
Now that we are Voltron, there's no stopping us. Just understand that.
Speaking of stuff like that, you guys gonna go watch the new Avengers today?
I gotta work.
I heard that.
I still live in reality.
Yo, I'm connected. I already saw it, bro. Before everybody else.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about it anymore. Because I don't want to be disappointed before the movie happens.
You would have given you every spoiler without your permission.
Yeah, it's all cool, man. But nah, you know what's crazy about that?
Here we go.
Oh no, we're not.
YouTube is gonna spoil it. The algorithm is gonna spoil it for you anyways.
Facts. I'm not going on social media all week.
Yeah, no, stay off
just
of
for posting this.
until you see it, bro. Stay off it because people gonna spoil it with their spoiler. It's not even spoiler tags. It's like, how come this happened in the movie? Blah blah blah.
And there's no spoiler warning anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
It's
just,
like at least before,
you know
like on YouTube, it'd be like, oh, caution, spoiler
no,
warning.
of course. Now they just put it in the title and you read it. You're like, oh, this happened, and then
It's just clickbait to get you to
yeah.
And everybody, I don't know. A lot of people are just it's conspiracies too. It's like, how do you find out the answer to everything?
Yeah.
Like on Wednesday, and the movie came out Thursday.
Of course. Well, no, the reason why though is because they do have, you know what I'm saying, advanced screenings. So there's before they actually cut it and edit it, there's people who, like, you know what I'm saying. For example, there's honestly there's a group of people who saw 3 different versions of Endgame. So like that means like early in January before because the movie's 3 hours and 1 minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So before they cut that, it was probably 4 hours and 30 minutes. Then like, all right, we cut this part, and then boom, they ended up getting to the point where they're all right, cool. All these test screenings. Now everybody likes this length, and it makes more sense because some people are like, oh man, we need a break, or some people are like it's too long, or but this they cut it down to the right amount to and it's crazy because I wasn't a part of those test groups.
Yeah.
What if I want to see the 4 hour and 25-minute movie? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? They got to decide how long the movie is for the rest of America.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. That's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come me check, baby. I'll make your movies long. I'll make your movies short. I don't care. Give me a check, man.
Run me my money.
Yeah.
When did you guys decide to become a group?
When I was born. Nah. What happened was, believe it or not, my first time ever being in a bar. Like, I went to a bar with a mutual friend of ours named John Burrell, and I turned 22. I've never drank in my life. Like, I don't drink and I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be no rapper, bro. If I would have knew this information, you would have fucked up.
But no. But like, this is way back in the day, so I didn't drink and I didn't smoke and nothing like that, right? So then, I turned 22. Like, I was 21 a long time ago, so I didn't turn 22. You know what I'm saying? March 15, you know what I'm saying, 2012, I turned 22, and for my birthday, something different, my homeboy was like, yo, let's just go to this bar real quick right by your house. I was like, all right, man, no problem, and Ralph was working.
So he used to come through to the bar all the time and try to freestyle again. You heard the word try? To freestyle all the time.
Yeah.
But it would work, because we would sit there and go back and forth with just hot potato. I'm at work trying to mix drinks and looking at him, scowling at him like, all right. So then finally we just came up with an idea. We're like, okay, let's try to make like a little EP or whatever, 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah.
And then that turned into a whole album, which is now down to 3 albums, and a mixtape, and he's got solo stuff. So we got a lot of material.
But it happened in 2012. Like literally, it's just
we made magic.
It was by chance. Like what's funny is this. So we went to the bar. We were there for a while. Then we left, and then me and the homie, we're at Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were looking at DVDs, and lo and behold, he's in Walmart looking at DVDs too. And we thought he went home, and he thought we went home. We're like,
this is at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I got off of work. I'm like, oh, those are 2 chumps. Chumps in the building.
And we still kicking it, and we just started talking, and then from there, he invited me to his house, and then you know what I'm saying. Lo and behold, we just working on music, and ever since then, boom, it happens like that. You never know who you gonna meet, when you gonna meet them, and then when you do, you never know how long you gonna know them for.
Right.
And fast forward, we have this amazing group and this amazing projects, and we've done so many shows, and it's like, it's by chance. Like literally, if I just said no and just stayed inside my pad, I would have never met Ralph. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my normal answer. My normal response was when people hit me up to go to a bar or whatever, like I was saying no, no, no. But that day, something in me changed. I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
Do you think that competitive nature between you two made you guys better rappers?
Of course, always, always. It's always like, you know, iron sharpens iron.
There's
Like,
a ton of shit talking.
Oh no, of course,
and debates and arguments.
It happens.
And, you know, just what it takes to you know, squeeze that coal into a diamond.
Right.
You know, is that competitive nature because. You know when you're always saying the same thing, but you think you're saying something different, but you're saying the same thing but differently. We had a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, and it was all from a good place.
Right.
But also what it is, though, too, what it really boils down to, though, too, is like his experiences and my experiences. That's what makes Two Birds, One Stone work. That's what makes it a group. Like, the actual philosophy behind it is the old meets the new. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're bridging the gap between old school hip-hop and new school hip-hop, and it also takes two birds to lift a stone together. Like, we flipped the concept. Like, yeah, you can kill two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah.
But imagine the strength and unity. And that's where we unite the older generation with the younger generation, and we make hip-hop music.
And so we call it 2B1.
Yeah.
Oh,
And when you're on the album, you know, you wouldn't really know who's who, but you would just because of voice, you know, but
of course.
I've always kept my pen game mean, and we did something, and we couldn't let it go. It was like, damn, okay, so let's just keep going. Now we're,
you know,
and
that's what we're at right now. And like
So
I
it's
said,
pretty
like,
cool,
everybody knows us. We have our merch out. We have, you know what I'm saying? We have a following. We have a lot of fans. And it's cool. Like, it's dope to represent for both generations. Like, to bring in the old school cats, to bring in the new school cats, and the old school cats will appreciate my stuff. The new school cats will appreciate his stuff. And that's the beauty of the group. You know what I'm saying?
Because who would I be talking about lean? I can't identify with that shit.
Well, I don't even
I
rap
got
about
my
that shit
3-year-old
either,
right
but-
here.
Yeah.
You know, neither does he. You don't rap
But
about
also
none
at the
of that.
same
But I'm
time,
just
though,
saying,
too,
but
it's like then you have different lifestyles. Like, I'm out and about in the scene, so I'm seeing the lean usage. I'm seeing, then I can bring it back, be like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? And then his experiences when he was growing up, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was different. It was a different situation, though, too. But, so me, I'm like, yo, this is still happening right now. And then because, you know what I'm saying, he's lived through it before, he's like, it's all a cycle.
I bartend, you know, so I see every, I've been...
Alcoholic, sexaholic.
Yeah, bro, I hear every
everything.
story, I hear every party, I hear, it's like...
It's like that bartender,
never
client
ends.
confidentiality.
You know, the cycle never ends.
Yeah.
It's just, everybody needs a voice, and they need people to talk to, people lean on, and an ear to hear.
The game is the same, the players change.
That's
So it
it.
doesn't matter. It's like you know what I'm saying, behind a bar, you're going to see different walks of life, but it all falls into the same category. That's how we have, that's why we have psychologists. That's why we have psychologists. That's why we have, like, different forms of things, because what they do is they make generalizations, and they say you either fall in this type of group, this category, and all this other stuff. And that's what they do. And, you know, that's how it is when you talk to people. You know, you only, they say you only ever have, you know, 12 different personalities in this existence of this world. So that means you're going to come across, you know what I'm saying, different tribes or different groups of yourself. So, you know.
It's crazy to, like, think of that there's, like, 3 other people that are exactly look like you. You know what I mean? And then it's just...
No, it is. It's like, I guarantee you go somewhere else in the same community, someone's going to say, hey, you remind me of somebody.
Facts.
And it always happens. It doesn't, the reason why is because we have this universal consciousness. We share it. We're all influenced by the same things, different ways, though. It's like we could all watch the same movie. We could all watch Endgame, and you take something from it differently, he's going to take something from it differently, and I took something from it differently. But it's the same movie. That's what good art does. Good art moves you, moves your modes, and moves groups of people differently. You know what I'm saying? Because if we all experience the same thing, the world the same way, it'd be boring, it'd be dull. We would all create the same. We would all do, but no, that's the variety and spice of life. It's how different everybody is. But at the same time, we all come together for one thing, music. For art, for television, for whatever our creative, you know what I'm saying, outlet is, we all bring people together. And we have strangers becoming best of friends. We have relationships that last a lifetime. And that's the beauty of what we're doing, what you're doing, what he's doing behind the camera. Like, we're all bringing everybody together in different, you know, in different forms. And that's the beauty of creativity.
Facts. When did you guys decide to start making merchandise?
We've had ideas ever since we got together. The only issue was the resources and the financing behind it. And we didn't, so we've always had the artwork. Like every album, we bought artwork for it. We created the artwork. We told the you know what I'm saying, artists what to make and everything like that. So we designed everything ourselves, but it's just somebody else's hand, somebody else did the program.
It's definitely based off the concept of the albums, how we do it. You know,
So,
like this shirt I'm wearing here is called Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children, right? There's a See No Evil, Hear No Evil, but this is one of 2 shirts. We got another one where it's like a pop-up book. So like a pop-up book with like like a, just like, it almost looks like a graffiti. It almost looks like, but it's of everything. Einstein's in it. It's a beautiful shirt.
Yeah, I seen it.
It's got everything
That's
popping
that's the
up.
official album cover right there. But it's like that. That's merch right there. And we've every album cover, every concept, we always design it ourselves. We tell the artist this is what we want, this, that, and so on and so forth, and then we turn it into clothing. And it's like we really went hard on the clothing just the past 2 years. Because,
and it is based around our album and like the content kind of. So when you wear it, you know, it definitely means something when you hear the music.
Because when we released the first album, we were supposed to go on tour and all sorts of stuff. We were getting ready to do a lot with the first album in 2015, but then if you look and you know my history, 2016 is when I got into an accident. So like, you know what I'm saying, that's what slowed down a lot of our progress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you guys design everything, or do you have a personal artist that you guys go to?
We have different artists that we go to, but it's getting to the point where now it's just mostly me and my brother making the designs and concepts, coming up with everything, and then we would go create the shirts. So like it literally goes, alright, bro, this is what we want. We're sketching it, this, that, and so on and so forth. And then when you go into the when you go into the shop, go to the shirt person, they just obviously they have, alright, cool, we're gonna do this font, this, that. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much create on the spot type of stuff, but as long as you have the idea. And it differs based off of who's there to make our shirts.
Right.
Like other than that, it's mostly our ideas, and boom, it's like, you know. But when it comes to like the drawing stuff, we have a couple, you know what I'm saying, a couple cats that we keep in the loop just to draw our stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll etch it, and like if they went to school for it, I'm gonna trust their design better than mine, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but yeah, we have a couple people that we have, you know what I'm saying, take our ideas and fully flesh it out. But other than that, it's still our ideas. It's just somebody else's hand, you know what I'm saying? So
you would consider yourself a dual artist, an artist, and you know what I mean?
I would say, you know what I'm saying, like it's a combination of everything, because it's like, if you're the artist, if you're the mind behind it, it's still your art, right? You're just not the hand, you know what I'm saying? It's like this, I'm not the best drawer in the world, right? But if I could draw it to the point where you could take what I drew and then add on to it, so yeah, it's still my art, but it's just you putting in the fine details and the shading, you know what I'm saying? And then from there we take it to somebody else who's gonna put it in the computer, and so it's like a factory in a sense, but it all comes from the same mind.
Yeah, it definitely comes from our imagination, and then we make them put it, and then sometimes we have to go through a first sketch, second sketch, third sketch,
so
before we're like, okay, that passes, and then,
exactly.
But it definitely starts right here.
Yeah,
you know, we think of the ideas, and then from there.
So yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's almost like producing music in a sense, where it's like this, like you have producers and then you have beat makers. Right. So it's like the beat makers are the ones just, you know, they're making the beats, whatever like that. They don't have any ideas for hooks. They don't have any ideas for formatting. They don't have any ideas for the overall song. But a producer, he could come in and he could be like, all right, for example, like I can get a production credit if I'm over here sitting with you and you know what I'm saying, you would be the programmer at this point. You're no longer the producer. I'm the producer and you would be the beat programmer at this point, because you would just be programming my ideas. So I'm like, all right, cool, put this kick here, put this snare there, put this drum here, and I'm picking everything, and now it's my production. That's how the industry works, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people fail to realize. They're like, oh, where's my producer credit? You didn't produce the record. You programmed the beat. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why you gotta read. You gotta read your contracts. You gotta understand your publishing. You gotta read all that stuff, because that's what they do. It's like if I come in there and I change one thing in your beat. Right? You made the beat, right? But now I get a production credit because I changed one thing, because I have now produced something original from your idea. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But yeah, so for me though, I write everything, the lyrics, and then we build off my melody. So in a sense, I am producing my records.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So
you guys start off with the lyrics first, and then you go to the beat?
Sometimes. Like for me, I like to create that way. I will write down without a beat, and then I will find, if I'm lucky enough to get in contact with producers or somebody who's really in-house or somebody who's really hands-on, because I like to be hands-on, we craft the entire song from scratch. Therefore, I don't have to worry about samples. I don't have to worry about sharing publishing. I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. It's just 50-50, me and you. We go put it out there. You get your portion, I get my portion. From a business perspective.
Inspiration is inspiration.
Yeah.
So if you want to write, then you're going to write on the spot. It doesn't matter what you can develop a subject content off of an idea or a hook or a chorus or whatever. But the bottom line is that sometimes beats inspire you to write the music, and you just get down with the beat. Or sometimes you might be sitting in your living room or on the toilet, and you're gonna write. You know what I'm saying? So inspiration comes from all sorts.
And see,
of
and
things.
that right there, to touch on that fact, that's one of the biggest issues as a creative. Sometimes you have ideas that are so grand that you don't have the resources for them. You know what I'm saying? You're like, man, I want to get a choir, I want to do this, but it's like, bruh, all I got is a studio. All I got is a laptop and a studio and a mic.
Don't get it twisted. It doesn't mean you can't do it. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do. I'm all about that first. If you really want it, you can do it. But resources can be a huge limitation.
And what that does, though, too, sometimes it kills the motivation, because you have these big ideas, and you're crafting them out, you're writing them, you're doing all these things right, and then you're like, all right, cool, I'm ready to go, and then little by little, day by day, you can't create that. You can't.
It just becomes a shadow all of a sudden. It's paper.
That's why for me, like, I always like to try to work with people who are, consistent in work ethic. Like, we're talking about this off the record, but now it's on the record. Where it's like, you know what I'm saying, you have to be consistent, because if you're not passionate about doing this, you know what I'm saying, for free, throwing in a financial incentive for you to do it is not going to speed up your process. It's not going to make you any better. You know what I'm saying? You have to perfect this for free and then get compensation later. Otherwise, throwing incentives at anybody who hasn't perfected it for free and put their passion into it is not going to make them any better or any good because of the money. It's just like, they're going to be, all right, well, I can get paid for being mediocre. Well, I'm going to be mediocre for the rest of my life. That's what people do. You know what I'm saying? First is, I'm going to be the best I can when I don't have everything, so when I get everything, I'm still the best. I believe in that 100%. If you're not willing to do something for free, don't do it at all. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get stuck doing something that you hate, and at the end of the day, you're going to look back at your life and look at all the things that you could have did. Of course. Love that you could have had. Of course.
So, kind of keep pushing with the whole label. Under Siege Media is your label, right?
Under Siege Music Group. And it's an independent label. This was founded by me and my rap partner and stuff. And at one point, we put together a collective of artists. We were trying to unite the city at one point. And so we put this collective together. We're all going to, because I try to tell people this, like, the more you have to offer, if you function like a label and you go to a label, all you have to do is write a check. Because we function like a label already. We have videographers, graphic designers, we have everything producers, everything at the time, everything needed to run a label, with the exception of just the financial backing. You know what I'm saying? So if you have everything like that, you have all the talents in the world, right, and everybody's just working together, it's easier to go to a major label or go to somebody, an investor, and be like, this is how much we need to maintain this, and this is how much you can get back. And easy to cut the check, but people's egos get in the way. People are like, well, I deserve this much, or, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna do no shows unless I'm getting paid, blah, 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 and then, like, you start running the facts on people. You're like, you gotta understand something. You want to get paid this amount of money, right, but then you can't guarantee ticket sales. You want to get paid this amount of money, right, but then you're not selling any records. You don't have any, where's your real fan base at?
Everybody thinks they're hot until you bring it back down to reality. It doesn't mean that you're not hot. You better think that way, because nobody else is going to plug you but you.
Exactly.
So you got to, carry around that mystique. But the bottom line is you shouldn't be putting your hand in somebody else's pockets unless you're willing to do the work from scratch yourself too.
Exactly.
You should put in the work yourself and, like, prove yourself worthy to yourself.
So what happened was,
and the rest will show with everybody else.
So what happened was, there's a lot of artists back then who I was affiliated with and trying to be a part of the collective, and it fell through because of egos, because people wanted certain things. People had unreasonable, expectations for their current situation and where they were at.
They just sat around hot.
It's like, it's like this.
This is a team building.
What people fail to realize is, like, bro, like, you can have, like, I have label connections. I know people in labels, but just because I know them and just because they know who I am doesn't mean I can get a deal like that.
Facts.
They have to. It's a process. People don't understand. Like for example, we just had a meeting with a label on Wednesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're interested in us, right? But they're like, we're watching you guys, and you guys are doing good with what you're doing right now. You go finish what else you got, because we told them our plan and everything.
Yeah.
Go finish your plan. Therefore, when you come back to us, you have even more leverage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it makes
they
deals.
sent us on our merry way.
Yeah. So no. So but it's like this. It makes deals more lucrative. So it's like
Yeah.
this. It's easier for them to come in and be like, oh, this person did this, that, and so on and so forth independently.
Yeah.
And all we gotta do is just write them a check. Versus, well, they need this. They need. You know what I'm saying? The more you need, the less attractive you are to a label.
Yeah,
You know what
they were shocked at the progress we made. They
Yeah.
were even saying, dude, not even the label's going to do what you guys are doing at this point. Like, they were shocked at some of the processes that
And this is what we're doing independently.
which is wild.
You know
And
what I'm
we're
saying?
sitting there looking at them like, what are you good for?
Yeah.
And they're sitting there looking at us like,
Yeah.
we should be finding you.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Exactly.
we're here. Well,
And
there's a stalemate.
Yeah, and like
It's really
I said,
weird.
It's kind of just using them for the money.
Yeah,
dude, the
but
whole
no,
thing
see,
is crazy,
so
you
at
know?
this point, like I said, like the way it's gonna work is we finish what we're doing, and we increase our value, increase our leverage, and then when we revisit, we're gonna get the deal no matter
Right.
what, because at this point, it's just a matter of, okay, it's easier to sign these people because they did all the work. They did all the work, and that's the thing. Like these labels, a lot of these industry people, they getting lazy. Like they don't want to put. It's like they do it if you're related.
Yeah.
Like if you do some research, you find a lot of these artists who are popping. Like I'm not gonna say anybody's name
Yeah,
right
fair,
now,
fair.
but there's an artist right now, right, who only has 7 songs.
Yeah.
Seven independent songs. Like they're solo away from his little posse and group and collective. And then I did the research, found out that his auntie works at a major label.
Yeah.
And he's on tour right now with 7 songs, opening up for these big artists, and he's meeting all the industry people. And it's like, I'm not a hater, but I'm like, okay.
It's just facts.
Yeah, it's like this. How is it that I have more than this person independently? I've done all this stuff independently, but then the person gets the look and he get the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, because he related to somebody.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
only come from they only come for a slice of your pie when the pie.
Yeah,
is ready.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you do the research and you start seeing the same thing over and over and over again. You're like, this person's auntie works here, this person's uncle works here, and you just start seeing that this industry is a farce. Where's the people who don't have real connections coming in? And those people are so far and few in between. You know what I'm saying? And then when they do make something, they're the ones who have longevity, and then they're the ones where people are like, oh man, well, I could have signed this person early, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like you hear the stories, people saying, "Oh, we could have signed him. Well, apparently you're not on top of your shit. If you could have signed him, and you
Like
did
we were talking about earlier with Kanye West.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, bro. But also another thing about Kanye West though too, like it's about literally narratives.
Yeah.
And I just have to get this out there because I've been having debates about this. Marketing and narratives, labels control your. It's almost like wrestling. We're gonna get into that. It's almost like wrestling in a sense. Labels and the industry make us root and you know what I'm saying and boo certain characters.
Yeah.
Based off of the story. They control the perception. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for me to get on the phone and tell a publicist to leak this story about this artist, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's false.
Yeah.
If you get it to enough people's hands, people gonna believe it's true because they seen it posted without doing their facts. It's like this. They always say, you know what I'm saying? Tell you know what I'm saying? They always say, just print the what was it? Say the story and then print the facts later. Like just tell the story, then print the facts later. You know what I'm saying? Where because people don't care about the facts. They're like, well, it's hot, it's juicy, it's a rumor, and it sounds good, and then we'll dig into it later, but just get it out there because you know what I'm saying. And it's like like
they love to see the superhero on his knees,
Yeah.
and then the next scene they love to see him fly to the tallest building.
Yeah.
Oh, no, for example, like the most recent situation was the Michael Jackson shit.
Yeah.
The Neverland Ranch documentary comes out and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, first and foremost, this dude's dead, so he can't defend himself. Secondly, he already got cleared from all those charges, so what are we doing revisiting this? Oh, it's because so-and-so wanted some money, this, that, and so-and-so. It's after the fact. After the fact, oh, it's like we lied and this, that, and so-and-so. And it's like, okay, cool.
And it's all hearsay.
Yeah, and it's like, where's the proof at?
Yeah.
He already got cleared of it, so why are we bringing his name? And then you had half of Hollywood divided saying, well, after seeing this, like, we gotta cancel Michael Jackson and blah, 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 blah. And it's like...
It's crazy how quick people are to cancel something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this person's canceled, this person's canceled. It's like, okay, but then we just go through all this, then we just talk about this like 5 years ago.
No, exactly. But what it is it's literally just sensitive culture.
Yeah.
It's like, we were talking about this earlier about how everything's all PC, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's sensitive culture. Where it's like, dude, a couple years ago, we weren't up in arms and saying, oh yeah, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, and let's be completely honest. Like, I mean, I'm talking to everybody right now, whoever's listening, whatever like that. is we gotta stop, because all we're doing is just making the generation softer and softer. Because at what point do we? And then that's what they want, though. They don't want
diluting everything.
Yeah, they don't want a rebel. They don't want somebody to stand up and be like, "Yo, this is wrong. This is wrong." No. They want us to accept and be fed what we're fed with no questions. You see what I'm saying? That's what they want us to do. And it takes artists like myself and Ralph and you guys to shed light on the truth.
Yeah.
And be ourselves and represent what real is. Because real right now is being really fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They look at the cameras. Like, no shot at any of these artists, right? But look at what some of these artists doing. They're blowing up overnight.
Yeah.
They're blowing up overnight. They have all this money. It's all smoke and mirrors. How did somebody, quote unquote, blow up overnight and they have all this money and then you're like, oh, they went viral? First and foremost, if you look at the quality of the music video,
yeah,
they have money into that music video.
Facts.
And if you, quote unquote, have all these connections and resources and you're independent, you gotta ask yourself, did it really go viral or was it marketing dollars behind it?
Yeah.
Chances are it's marketing dollars behind it, because if you look at the quality, but this is what the people who don't know the industry don't know about.
Yeah.
They're like, well, he blew up because, like, dude, this is, man, I could ramble on about this shit forever.
I feel like they just want to spoon feed us ignorance.
Yeah,
you know
no, and it's all smoke and mirrors, though. And
Yeah.
what's
Amen.
crazy is kids grow up these days blinded by the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And it's like they believe it. They're like, oh, did you know that so-and-so did this and he did this, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, how? He's
Yeah.
not even charting high. He's not even selling out shows. So how does he have this money?
Yeah.
How does he have more money than somebody who's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, things ain't adding up.
I think it's crazy when you go through, like I'll hit their SoundCloud, I'll hit the
Yeah.
Spotify, I'll hit Apple Music, and they're not hitting numbers right there. But when
Exactly.
it goes to YouTube
Yeah.
and Instagram, they're getting millions of views.
Yeah.
And that's how they're making all their money. And it's
Exactly.
like, if you're not putting the groundwork in all these platforms, something's a little off.
Exactly. And then it's like, you know, let's call it spade a spade. A lot of motherfuckers is cleaning drug money, bro.
Yeah.
They cleaning drug money. They literally they cleaning drug money. They cleaning whatever type of money, and it's easy to funnel that stuff through music. It really is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
I got paid for a performance, this
Yeah.
much money. And then
exactly.
you just lie on it.
Exactly. You could be like, oh, I booked him over here. I booked this
Yeah.
person, and you just funding and cleaning money, man. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you can be paying the promoter like, hey,
Exactly.
I'll pay you $1,000
Yeah.
to put me on stage and just say that you pay me $10,000.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's easy money, it's free money. And like, you know what I'm saying? Let's tell the truth. Like let's stop lying to these kids. But then guess what? The kids, they growing up like, oh man, this dude's music is dope because he's driving in a Lambo, he has this, he
Yeah.
has that. And it's like, no, he got that from drug money, and he's making it look like he could blow it from music.
Yeah.
And that's what happens though. And it's an industry where money talks and bullshit walks. So like, people believe what they can see.
Yeah.
But when you actually, like us, when we actually do the dirt and we actually research, you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, man, you ain't popping over here, you ain't popping. So you ain't. That's not
Yeah.
losing money. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you big in the hood, but you
Yeah.
ain't big in every hood.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, it's just. At that point, you just start saying, like, yo, people got to do the research. But they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because if it's not their industry, if it's not what they're into, they're not really going to invest their free time into it. They're just going to accept it like that. And that's their reality right there. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know a different reality. So.
And people are so willing to take things at face value.
Exactly.
I know we're going to do our research and all that,
Yeah.
but make sure you do yours, because
Yeah,
a lot of
nah,
times we could even have the
please.
facts wrong. And at the end of the day, the truth is the only thing that matters.
Please make sure y'all do your research and make sure you guys actually, the tools are out there. Like you walk around with a phone that has access to the internet, that has access to journals, that
Public
has access
libraries.
to everything. It's
And
like
remember, 2 birds, 1 stone for the kids. Baby.
nah, some real stuff, real facts.
I
Just
do
make
too.
sure that you, you know what I'm saying, invest in yourself and
Yeah.
invest in your knowledge and invest in your truth, because you know how you live and how you see the world is your reality. Because if, for example, I can be full of shit. If you see
Yeah.
the world that way, if you're into ignorance and hood stuff, whatever like that, then I'm an ignorant dude to you, because I'm not
Yeah.
speaking your language. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking in your terms that you identify with and understand. So
Right.
I'm an alien. I'm somebody different, right? But then it's like this: if you know what I'm saying, if you're up to standard, you're up to par, and you're up to the knowledge that you know what I'm saying is standard to us, then quote unquote they understand what we're talking about.
Facts.
So they get us right now. You know what I'm saying?
On to the next topic. Who do you think influenced your guys' music that you guys listen to?
Hip hop in general. Like I grew up off of everything. Like for me, my uncle was a DJ. So
Okay.
like this what gives me. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like this is what gives me a musical edge over a lot of people, because I was exposed to a lot of musicianship early on in my, you know what I'm saying, early on in my you know what I'm saying, upbringing in my
Right.
life. for the simple fact that, like I said, my uncle was a DJ. Everybody in my family did something music related. I'm the only one who's actually pursuing my passion, pursuing my talents, and actually getting paid from it, and actually doing it for real. Everybody else, they just, you know what I'm saying, went to school, got the degrees, and you know what I'm saying, they're doing all the generic 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong against that if that's what you're happy with.
Yeah.
But I've seen some frowns. I've seen people complain about their jobs. I'm like, what if you never quit doing this? What if you never? So anyways, to answer your question, because I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, yeah, like, I have a musical edge because my uncle was a DJ, and then from there, like I said, I got introduced to LL Cool J, I got introduced to Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, you know what I'm saying, KRS-One, Sugar, like everything, the entire, I grew up with hip-hop.
So that late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that's what I grew up on. But then you get to a point where because also what people fail to realize is how well can you comprehend and how well do you know the world. Yeah. So like there's certain things, there's certain records where you're like, all right, cool, I get it, I like the beat, I like the lyrics, right? But then as you get older, you're like, oh, I've seen this movie, so I know what he was talking about here. Yeah. I've seen this. And then like the more you know, the more pop culture you know, the more references you know, the greater the music becomes to you because you have a better understanding of it. It's like some people only listen to surface music. They only listen to what they hear. You know what I'm saying? I like
on the radio
beat.
And all that.
I like the hook. I like this. But then there's a deeper level to music where, for example, like me as a songwriter, there's a deeper level to it where it's like you listen to a bar, you're like, man, this means this, that, and then you're like go through everything. You're like, the entire thing is an entendre, and he's alluding, you know what I'm saying? He's alluding to this, that, and so on and so forth. Yeah. I like to write like that, you know what I'm saying? And like, bro, like I specialize in that stuff. But then on the same time, you know what I'm saying? You have other artists who they're all about flow. Yeah. They're all about melodies. They're all like, so there's different ways we do it. But sometimes to appreciate great art, you need to go. You know, I always say it, like, you know what I'm saying? You have to go to Harvard to be a stand of my music because you have to understand my music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and for me, you know, my whole thing is just good music. You know, I always tell people with any interview I'm in is just good music. Doesn't matter what genre it is, doesn't matter what type of music it is. If I can feel it, if it makes me happy, makes me dance, makes me think, if it's philosophizing, then whatever. As long as it's good music, I don't care what kind of music it is.
Facts.
You know, that's what I look for. And of course, you know, I'm a fan of hip hop, you know, I'm in rap. Yeah. You know, so, you know, my inspirations range from Lecrae, right down to Nas, right down to, you know, even the Big Sean's and the Kendrick Lamar's. Like my span is great. We take it back to the LL Cool J's and Cool G Rap and the Big Daddy Kane's. You know, I vibe with the new, I vibe with the old. As long as it moves me, that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. As long as it moves me. Of course, man. That's good music.
And but like I said, your influences. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he was asking about, your influences. Like
those are my influences.
But they didn't influence you to rap because they didn't exist before you started. You see what I'm saying? So who influenced you to rap? That's what he was asking.
Then I guess I'd have to owe that to my dad. You know what I mean? Or to, you know, my uncles. But other than that, you know, there's plenty influential people that I feed off that I carry that vibe with.
No, of course. I mean,
I feel you like all the genres and all the the sub-genres inside hip-hop definitely play influence into the personalities. Because I feel like everything that we listen to, we take a piece of.
No, exactly. So it made me more well-rounded.
I literally have a line in one of my songs where I say, you know what I'm saying, I'm just my influences reintroduced to the new school fans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like literally when you hear me, you're gonna hear M, you're gonna hear J.
Is that what you try sticking to? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I see that, you know what I mean, you could switch it up. Like sometimes I get that indie writers feel, and then sometimes I get that more like lyrical, like, you know what I mean, playing around with it, like, okay, like we really gonna do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, so like for me, like if you listen to anything, you know that I'm a lyricist first and foremost, right? And then from there, if you break down the music, you understand that, like, I love rhyming with syllables. I'm just a syllabalistic rhymer. So I attribute that to the Cool G Raps, the Eminems, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cool G Rap, Eminem, and Big Pun. Like, those are my dudes because they specialize in it, you know what I'm saying? And then as you get, you know what I'm saying, as you get older and you're like, all right, cool, who else does this? Oh, Jonah Lucas. Who else does this? You know what I'm saying? But then you listen, you're like, oh, yeah, he's a big fan of M. So then, like, we have who we got influenced by, right? And then those who do music, we can understand, be like, oh man, John Louie, he a fan of Eminem, and then he comes out and he's like fan of Eminem. So like you get to a certain point where you know people based off their music who they listen to.
Right.
And some people will throw you a curve, like so for example, I've seen people be like, you know what I'm saying. For a lyrical artist like myself, right? Some people be like, oh yeah, so who's your favorite rapper? And then somebody like randomly will be like, oh yeah, Scarface. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like it'll throw people off. And, like there's nothing wrong with listening to Scarface or anything like that, Ghetto Boys and everything like that. But like it's just some people will throw in that wrench. Will be like, you listen to that dude?
Yeah.
When it's like, nah, you're supposed to be listening to like Wu-Tang and like people like to categorize you, be like, oh he listens nah, Jay-Z. They give you the generic lyrical answers.
Yeah.
But then sometimes on the flip side, just to shock you, they'll give you an answer. You're like, what?
Yeah.
That motherfucker listen to that dude? Like, oh yeah, man, I listen to Heavy D. Like. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, what you know about that?
And then see, but I listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, like, again, I'm rooted in technical abilities. So, like, lyricism and syllables. Eminem. So, that's just, you'll hear that in my music. I even have a song called Open Letter to Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, bro, literally, I'm just a big fan. And, like, so from a technical aspect, Ralph, what about you?
Oh, I answered that. Yeah, all my influences. I answered all my influences. I don't need to go in any further. I put my answer down flat.
I know we talked about it off the record, but now on what podcast do you like to listen to?
Oh man, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Charlemagne, The Brilliant Idiots, Joe Budden, Complex. Like I listen to a lot of the mainstream ones, but also at the same time you have those deep down ones like Action Bronson had one called Ancient Aliens. And man, like there's a couple different ones. Like there's a couple ones where like you have to dig.
How you feel about Joe Budden? I feel like he's that old dude on like get off my lawn. You know what I mean? Like
okay, so speaking about Joe Budden, like so I have different. I appreciate the knowledge when he's on it, because he drops a lot of knowledge. Yeah. And he actually speaks truth. Like he'll call out
a lot of times
he'll call out rappers on their shit. Like he'll be like, yo, like how is this possible? You know what I'm saying? This, that, and so on and so forth. Like the whole independent rap, like the Chance the Rapper one, that episode, I love that because he said a lot of shit that a lot of people in the industry know. You're like, how the fuck is your first album? You know what I'm saying? It's featured everywhere, right? And we just heard about you. How's your first album have this production and these features, this, that, and so on and so forth, but you're independent? Where did you get your financing from? Yeah. Where did you get your funding? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Granted, though, like, there's a different story, though. It's like, I did this, I networked this, and so on and so forth, but let's be completely honest, like...
You didn't all do it by yourself.
Exactly. So there's that big, the terminology. What is true independence? We're independent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He working his job, getting his money. I'm making my money, and then we reinvesting into our music. You feel me? We don't have a financial backer. We don't have an investor. We don't have these big connections. We're making a network. We have connections, but none of them's gonna write us a check right now. You know what I'm saying? But what's funny is this: by the time any of them want to write us a check or invest in us, we're already gonna be making the money that we need anyways. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll be like, then it becomes easy. You're like, how many of y'all didn't do this earlier? But because people want you to earn and build your worth yourself, and then they're gonna come help you. Like the saying goes, someone is always gonna help out somebody pushing their car as opposed to standing on the side of the road with their thumb out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of my influences, or a lot of the podcast influences that I like, are pretty much the same ones that he likes. I like even others like Jason A. and I like watchers on the wall, like people who know what's going on in the world, what's happening. I don't mind that. I love looking at things with technology and, whatever. But other than that, I definitely like Joe Rogan. I like The Breakfast Club. I like,
that one.
Stuff, but
see, that one, like The Breakfast Club, man, is hilarious, man, because I don't even consider that, like, podcast.
Yeah, I really wouldn't either. It's more of a syndicate entertainment.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Another one, Drink Champs with Nori, dude. That one was cool for a while, like, depending on who he gets on there, but then at a certain point,
high roots.
Nori just likes to hear himself talk at a certain point, bro. Like he'll ask a question and then
he'll answer it.
Yeah, he'll answer it. He'll ask you a question and then he'll end up answering the question. Be like, yo, remember that one time? That one, and it's like, bro,
I wasn't there.
It's like, bro, like it's cool.
I used to have a friend.
It's entertaining.
Like I was there every story. I was like.
Hey,
shout out OG. One of the OGs told me that he's like, hey man, you gotta give people a little more time to answer their questions because
it's entertaining, bro. It's entertaining, man. Because what it is though too, it's like what it is though is I get it. Some people are just overly excited, bro. Like I'm guilty of it. I like talking. Like I like. Was that a commercial, bro?
Yeah, no,
that shit caught me on guard.
yeah, it caught me too.
STS.
I hit again. You said. Oh man. But okay, so from podcast to comedian, who's your favorite comedians? If you had to give top 3.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave
Chappelle, like bro.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle.
Even Chris Rock said the greatest comedian is Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Chris Rock said that. The greatest comedian is Dave Chappelle.
That Cambodian breast milk.
Besides Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Besides Richard Pryor, you know.
I would even put him up there with them. Like honestly, just because I would include a skit game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one has even Key and Peele, like they have some great skits, but nothing like how Dave Chappelle.
What it is though too though is for me, I'm like, dude, I've been exposed to a lot of these but I've been introduced to a lot of these comedians and everything like that, right? No, me too. I've been exposed to a lot of these comedians.
What about you, Bill?
But it's like what it is cultural impact and also capturing, you know what I'm saying, capturing the generation.
I feel like Dave Chappelle,
and that's what Dave Chappelle did.
Thing.
It's like even though quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, Rock's been there and like a lot of these other comedians been there longer, Eddie, all these other stuff. Dave Chappelle captured the generation at the right time, in the right moment. He made the right like dude, like Lil Jon, what okay, bro, like I still to this day I laugh because at that time frame, that was what was going on. Yeah. And like he captured, like bro, like
remember the Nig Gar family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he's saying what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
White kids, black kids, like
but
come on.
Not even
and
that.
He's just like,
not even that. When you think about but not even that. When you think about what Dave Chappelle did, right? He's the founding father for a lot of what we consider comedy today, with the
like
skits,
the Instagrams and everything.
Everybody's doing that based off of
if it wasn't
everybody's doing that based off of Dave Chappelle because you know what I'm saying, like love me or hate my opinion, everybody's doing that off Dave Chappelle because
you got good taste.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Questions.
Yeah. Oh no. See, I know. I listen to everything. I watch everything. You know what I mean? So it's like I may not know the whole series, but I'll know parts of it.
No diss to any of the connects that we have, but like this is by far one of my favorite, best interviews I've ever had.
So make sure you tap in, or we're gonna tap you out.
Hey, shoot, man. Get that crypto strap face on. You know what I'm saying?
I wrestled in high school, so you might get suplexed.
Okay. But nah, so like Dave Chappelle, he's the founding father of
Facts. Like I feel like Davis, like Fat Boy wouldn't be around.
Everybody,
even all the Vine stuff that we did, like 2012. You know what I mean?
All the little skits, because what it is he showcased that you can take what's currently happening in you know what I'm saying, society and everything like that, and make a joke out of it in a tasteful way. And that's what a lot of these Vines, and they're doing it like, if
he would have stuck around, there would have been no PC.
Like his Dare, like you remember the Dare campaign that he did, like with the syringes and all that. But that was real because they did a study that all the Dare campaigns, it led kids to doing more drugs because kids didn't know about drugs until Dare came up in the school and said, "Hey, don't do crack." You do it like this though, and you know what I mean, and you just pack it and you break it down. You know what I mean?
Well, no. For example, touching off of what you just said, going off of what you said and everything like that, right? You can only inspire and do things that you're introduced to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. If a person who doesn't know what drugs is now told and alerted of what drugs are, they can now go experience
and how to use
drugs.
it. You know what I mean?
They can now go experience that.
Because you can have weed in your hand, but you don't know what to do. You're just eating it. You know what I mean? You get high.
It's a trip though when you think about it though. That's why they say ignorance is bliss, because the more you know, the more you can do. You see what I'm saying? Then you're really tested with temptation and free will. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if I gave you the world and I introduce you to all the ills of the world, and now you have your choice. Pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? Versus and again, it doesn't always work that way because there's been studies where it's like you have those church girls who grew up in the church and everything like that, then they in the strip clubs now and stuff like
Bible
that.
thumpers.
Yeah. So it's like, so at the end of the day, you can treat them like the village, but you know what I'm saying? You can treat them like the village, but eventually when they escape, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but nah, dude, it's like
you can take the needles, spoons, and straws, everybody.
Well, I'm saying you can never like they say. You know what I mean? You can take the boy out the jungle, but you can never take the jungle out the boy.
Exactly, it's there because also a lot of it though too is just our instincts, our human instincts. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen 3 Identical Strangers on Hulu?
No, but I actually heard about that.
Yo, I would give it a watch just because, and then get back to me of what y'all think.
Is that documentary?
Yeah, so it's a documentary based, and what they do is there's 3 identical, there's triplets, and they all get split up at birth, but what they're actually doing is a study. Like this scientist from Germany or something, he did a study on if you take children away from their parents who have mental disorders, and will they all have mental disorders when they grow up, even though they're not around each other. And it's interesting that one of the brothers actually ends up with like a tough mental disorder, one of them like depression, you know what I mean? And it's all like, so, and then
a lot of it's genetics based.
Yeah, so they're saying like, even though, you know what I mean, you do the nature versus nurture, at the end of the day, you're still going to have just nature at the end of the day, because you're going to come out, and they all like the same cigarettes, they all like the same women.
That's crazy.
Like, they all like Marlboro cigarettes, you know what I mean?
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, so let me know what y'all think.
That type of shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that type of studying, that type of documentation is what interests me. You know what
the crazy part about that, though, the study never was released to the public until 2066.
Oh, wow.
They've got it on lock until 2066, unless you have the clearance. But who's going to have the clearance for it when someone dies?
That's crazy.
Nah, it's some deep
stuff. Those are the things they're telling you, but what are they keeping?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like all the, like, I don't want to get assassinated or nothing, but have you seen the Candy Files?
Which one? The Candy Files? Is that another?
The Kennedy.
Oh, the Kennedy. The Kennedy.
Like, read the Candy Files?
Nah, dude.
Like, it's...
I've seen, like, bro, there's so many theories about it. I kind of
like, the government dropped it.
Okay, you're not the ones that...
they dropped a couple years ago?
They always do that. Yeah. You read them, though, right?
Yeah, like, it...
shit is crazy, bro.
They were talking about how... They were just bashing Martin Luther King, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were talking about just... a bunch of different stuff, you know what I mean? They were trying to expose Dr. King if they didn't assassinate him, about him being homosexual and stuff like that.
Well, pretty much, if you don't assassinate somebody physically, you assassinate them mentally. You assassinate their character. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, for example, excuse me. For example, look at Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Right? Look at Bill. You need somebody who took all them years for all them girls, and not one story leaked back then. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, whether or not y'all believe he did it or whatever, if you actually do the research and look at the paper trail, right, he was getting enough investors to buy NBC. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I hope they don't pull nothing on Ice Cube.
He had the finances to do it, to control a big conglomerate. He had the finances to do it. He had to invest. He had the backing, right? Yeah. So in order for me to jeopardize any financial things that you may possibly have, and be like, all right, well, he raped this person. He raped this person. Yeah. At a certain point, people just back up, regardless of it, even if you didn't do it, right? Just the fact that we said you did it. Yeah. Just the fact that it's out there now. We don't want to be associated with it.
The reason I'm scared for Ice Cube is because he's doing so good with the big three. All these basketball like owners, like that actually own the owners. You know what I mean? Yeah. They all they're trying to shut him down. Of course. You know what I mean? They're putting a blockade on him, so he can't go past what he already did.
Well, no, and that's the thing though.
And R.I.P. rest in peace Nipsey, just like that. You know, when people start making big moves.
Yeah, but also at the same time though, too, what it boils down to though, too, is business. I mean, look at Amazon, right? Look at what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's genius in a sense, because you have to flip it around and say, like, if you were Jeff Bezos, wouldn't you do the same shit? Of course. If you had the capability to.
If it's gonna cost me money, you know what I mean? It's like, am I gonna put my money first or his life first?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people don't look out for each other; they look out for their own profit.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the downfall of society in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's that it's like this. Okay, for example, like, this is a crazy connection, right? But it's like this. J. Cole's song about Dream Girl, right? If you could say, let's say you're the paramedic who could save the dude, right? Yeah. But instead you look at this girl and you're like, yo, if I let this motherfucker die, I can have a shot at her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a trip though, when you really think about it. Like, this is not a conspiracy theory shit, this is real shit, right? Yeah. If you have that you're an organ donor on your fucking driver's license,
they won't resuscitate you,
they're not going to try their hardest to bring you back to life.
Yeah, they won't.
You know what I mean?
They won't shock you.
They will let you die because they make money off of your organs.
They'll put the air tank on you, but they won't shock you.
They're not gonna try.
It's like body harvesting. How they say a lot of young black males.
Yeah.
They're missing. Yeah. They get the missing signs going because they got the strongest organs. Yeah. And everybody in the hood knows about it. You can watch tons of documentaries and specials now. But conspiracy theory or not, the bottom line is these people are missing, and there's not enough answers, and body harvesting is pretty damn real.
It's not even that though, too. It's like this, man. It's like this. one of the wisest advices that I've ever been given, and really, you know what I'm saying, altered my perception of the world, is if you can think it, it can't be done.
Facts. There's a way.
So it's like all these, you know what I'm saying, you say it's crazy, right? Never let go and be crazy, going back to Dave Chappelle, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But these crazy conspiracy theorists and so on and so forth, right? They didn't just pull that shit out their ass.
Fact.
There is some truth in the craziest conspiracy that you can think of, right? There is some truth that lies into it.
Facts.
It may not be 100%.
Back to J. Cole, like every joke has a little bit of truth.
Yeah, exactly. Every joke, every theory, the theories exist because at one point it was real in a time frame.
Yeah.
And it's like this. Let's say, for example, let's say we all worked, right, and we all did something right. Let's say we all worked at Area 51 right now, right?
Yeah.
What you're exposed to over there is your truth, his truth, my truth.
Yeah.
There's three different there's three truths going on at Area 51 right now, right?
Yeah.
So now here's the thing though too. Let's say this. If you go there, right, and this is considered, we all see the same thing, right?
Yeah.
How you perceive it, how he perceived it, and how I perceived it is three different things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now let's say you went off and you further worked on this project, right? And you stopped at like 3 months later, right?
Yeah.
And you tell what you worked on.
Yeah.
Now that's theory 1.
Yeah.
Then he picks up where you left off, right?
Yeah.
Theory 2. And then I pick it up, theory 3.
Yeah.
It's based in a fact though. We all worked in Area 51 and we all got exposed to the same project, right?
Yeah.
But now you have different information. He has different information. I have different information.
They do that. They separate.
Well, no, it's
under
compartmentalized.
one umbrella.
No,
and they compartmentalize different people
for that specific fact. But now that's where the theories come from.
Yeah.
Because it's like this. You be like, oh, he's full of shit because, you know what I'm saying, when I got to it, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's full of shit because when, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa. Now it becomes...
Everything's lost in translation.
Now what's crazy is this. Now we're hiding in plain sight, but we're policing each other. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is out there. Now it's whose version of the truth do you agree upon? What if we're all right?
Yeah.
What if you're right and I'm wrong? You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. So now it's like that's where these theories come from. And that's where it's like I said. So it's based in facts, but at the same time, it's what percentage of facts.
Yeah.
And that's what we're facing right now.
So 2 things before we move on to the next topic. Perspective is something that I could never see your perspective exactly how you are, and you'll never see mine. And also, we need to put people over profits.
Exactly.
Now, just to let you know, Sir Lou, I gotta leave in 8 minutes.
Okay. Let's not.
No, he can stay.
Okay.
yeah.
Do either of you play any instruments?
No, I wish I could say that I did, but no.
Me
man,
too.
I'm really unproud that I don't. You know, I got family members that play instruments.
Yeah.
Well, at least my dad used to play the congos, but
Yeah.
but other than that, Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I feel
Black
you.
Puerto Rican. Yes, but other than that.
Shout out my family.
Where you Puerto Rico too?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit, man, we all Puerto Rican.
You feel?
Yeah.
Damn.
Break up the Goya beans. And shit. You know what I'm saying?
Where's the flan?
Get some papayenas up in here. You know what I'm saying, man?
It ain't real flan if my caramel ain't hard.
That's what I'm
Some
talking
up in here, man. Papayenas, some
Dang it,
patas,
now I want some
Goya
Puerto
beans.
Rican
I know, right? I might
Where my
want
platinum?
some. I know, right? Shit. But nah, man. Now I'm hungry.
Now we went all Puerto Rico on everybody.
We gonna have the flag all over.
Damn, man, got a Photoshop.
They all look the same. They all look the same.
Alright, shoot.
Do you prefer orchestra or ballet?
I actually go to both, believe it or not.
I know, I seen, but I'm saying, which one do you prefer?
Orchestra.
Oh, that's a hard one for me, man, because
both.
it's for me. I would say both because it's a mood thing, man. Like,
okay.
like if I'm like, because I always go to the orchestra or the ballet with my girl, right? So it's like, if I'm I want to chill, relax, and just mentally be stimulated, I'm going to a ballet. Ballet. Versus if I want to be moved and like, you know what I'm saying, have different, because we operate off of frequencies, you know what I'm saying, and waves. Like,
Yeah.
You get different stimuli based off of that. So for me, like if I'm working on some music, I want to go to an orchestra because I'm going to see different melodies. I'm going to see different, you know what I'm saying, movements of music in action.
Right.
Versus if I'm trying to like reflect and just be moved by art, I'm going to go to ballet. So it really it's just a mood thing for me. But
yeah, because the orchestra, I mean, even though they're both sound and mind, but when you think of an orchestra, it's just ear candy all the way through. You do ballet, you got to use your eyes
and
your
mind though
moves
too.
you.
Like that's the thing. Like you have to assess what's going on and make it make sense to your mind and follow a story mentally. Like I love going to ballet for that because everybody's quiet and you're thinking and processing the movement of art.
Wasn't you in ballet for like 5 or 6 years?
Hey man, don't talk about that. No, I wasn't in ballet.
Okay.
Tupac was. Don't forget.
Well, if you now if you play football, you either gotta do yoga or ballet.
That's perfect though. What it does, it preps you for making yourself more loose and making yourself feel, you know what I'm saying, more how you say.
Them guys are on their toes, man. They're on their toes.
Who's your favorite wrestler? I seen you been to wrestling not too long.
Oh man. The Rock, fool. Like
the Rock,
like, you know what I'm saying? End all be all is The Rock. End all be all is The Rock, bro. Just because he took it way past everywhere.
His showmanship was crazy.
That's like, bro, and what's crazy is him.
Yeah.
It's him. It's not scripted. He's not writing. It's him off of, you know what I'm saying, off the top, right? So you know what I'm saying, if I was to say out of all time it's The Rock, right? But right now, current generation, I'm messing with you know what I'm saying, The Shield. I love all of them, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But right now, dude, like, the most person who's impressive in the ring for me, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
AJ Styles. I'm a fan of the flippy shit.
Who's the dude who just beat the Undertaker in the...
Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns,
yeah. From The Shield and shit?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's cool, man. Like, and that's the thing, like just
I feel like he's like a newer, like, Undertaker feel. Like, that's how they can want to push the Undertaker now. You know what I mean?
Well, you know it's crazy, though, man. It's like, yeah, in a sense, but also at the same time, it's like, are you following the current wrestling right now or not?
Not too big on
bro,
it.
Like,
All right,
so
let's move on.
so the current wrestling, so the
that
current,
shit is fake.
so the current wrestling situation right now is they had so much talent and so much potential with a lot of these characters and stuff like that. And, you know, because of their egos, they want to own all the characters. They want to buy all the talent, right?
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying, now you have different organizations like AEW, all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But because of their ego and wanting to have ownership and everything, they're not letting true talent shine.
Yeah.
Like, there is another Rock out there. I mean, there's never going to be another Rock, right? But there's, you know what I'm saying, like...
Another showman.
I mean, they did the same thing with John Cena, and they're trying to do the same thing. But it's like, there's certain people out there, you know what I'm saying, where it's like...
One-on-one.
If you give them the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity, and you actually let them grow, they can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look what New Day did. You know what I'm saying? Like, They rocks. Like
I think my favorite era was like the 2000s, just because.
Well, of course.
Like, you know
that's what you grow up on.
Yeah.
That's like this.
Like the Rey Mysterio, like the Rock, Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Going back at that, like I was raised off of that. I was raised off of, you know, saying Andre Johnson,
Superfly. I remember having those
Jimmy
spins.
Yeah, man. I still have all my wrestling toys.
Yeah.
All of them, bro. Like at one point I might post them up on IG at a certain point, but like
this is G. Lou, the solo artist.
Yeah, I have all my wrestling toys, man. So it's like, but no,
like the Iron Shield and all that.
Yeah, bro, I have like, dude, Hell in a Cell. I have like, dude, I'm telling you, homie. The
dude's a collector.
I'm a nerd,
that's not a joke.
bro.
He's really a collector.
People don't realize
really
this. Like, I'm a dead ass nerd,
really
homie. I have a Pokemon collection. Like,
you play Pokemon Go?
I played the Nintendo Switch one. I ain't really.
Okay.
I'm a nerd, but I'm not like, I'm gonna be caught. You ain't gonna never catch me slipping with my phone trying to catch a Pokemon somewhere.
You gonna catch me slipping in the parking lot on my Pokemon Go tip.
Hey, nah, man. I play Nintendo. Like I'm a console.
Wait till
and PC
they put
gamer,
that stuff
bro.
in AR.
I'm a console.
Bro,
I'm a console and PC gamer.
They're gonna be looking for real.
For me,
like the AR glasses.
I stay away from the mobile
yeah.
games, bro.
Yeah.
It's like I use my phone. Like, don't get me wrong. Like you know what I'm saying, you have to do something, but I mostly associate phones with business. So like for me, like I have my bad line and my chat line. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that line is like, yo, studio
I got my hotline
business.
doing too.
Hey, yo, studio business. Let's make records. The chat line is like, alright, cool, you got an event, whatever, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just have to stay, you know, like, bro, if you look at my phone right now, it's nothing but artists, photographers, videographers. Like, it's business with a couple different, you know what I'm saying, with a couple different friendships in there. But other than that, it's a straight business phone. So, like, I have no games, nothing to distract me from getting it, you know what I'm saying, on this phone. You feel me?
You got a song called Wordplay, so I'm going to throw a couple words out, and y'all go play with them, okay?
Alright, for sure.
Okay, so the first one we got is Instagram.
Instagram. I got my Instagram fam. I don't believe in peanut butter and jam, and I don't do jam, and I don't be doing all that shit for spam. I've been talking everything that I do, like Ralph I am, green eggs and ham, whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Serve them alcoholics an alcohol, let them know that you ain't calling out of here on your lips till you fall. But anyways,
Okay.
Just say whatever,
he said everything right there. He said everything for Instagram, man. You know what? I put it in the microwave and call it Instagram. Cooking rock. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you started Instagram, belligerent.
Belligerent. Ooh.
That's all you.
Rouse being belligerent. Walking around like a little idiot.
Feeling quite ignorant.
Feeling quite ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Getting drunk and serving punks. Little pump. What the fuck? Look at the skunk. I'm not even rapping, bro. I'm just fucking around, dog. It's just, hey, but guess what? I guarantee you someone's gonna put a hot beat behind it. They're gonna see this shit's hot as fuck, bro. They're gonna be like, yo, little pump, look at skunk, belligerent, rockin' drunk. They'll be like, yo, this shit is hot, bro. Like, this shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? Put a clap behind it, an 808. Yeah, exactly.
I was so mad when I listened to that.
It's like the greatest verse in the world is gonna come right now. Whoop. Poopity scoop. No, like, what the fuck?
I was so disappointed. But okay, so the next word, Dago.
Yeah.
Like bagel cat.
I'm a San Diego Rilla, right? Okay. Dago. What can I say about Dago? Dago. It really ain't nothing. Let the flow. You got to really understand exactly when we tiptoe through the door. What in the world are we here for? Open up these corridors. That's just the way that it is. Every time I let go, my mind explores. You got to really understand what we got in store. 2v1, God in the sun. People don't even understand we still on the run. We do the stuff to be in number 2 and number 1. Quick to lose a lung when it comes to this fun. And that's just the way that it is. So we ready to get done? Till the interview is over, you're going to see us succumb.
They be like, Dago, where did the day go? Look at how they go in San Diego, cruising in the Winnebago, eating a bagel. This is the wordplay flow, because I like to play with words, bro.
And it's all fuego.
Hey, you know what I'd rather see, and you know, I'm definitely out of practice, but I like when people throw words at me in real time as I'm flowing. Like, you know, really throw out some words, and like I said, I'm under practice, but hey, I'm here. I'll give it a go.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So like, when I say throw out words, I mean you need to be like this, like mic, ceiling, floor. Don't worry about my flow. You just throw out the words.
Okay, so we're gonna, since you said that, okay.
Hey, and if I mess up, I mess up. It's all it's just good sportsmanship. Let's do it.
Okay. Right. So you want me to throw a word and then
just throw.
Okay.
I'll let him. He wants to do the showman show.
Okay.
Hey man, just go.
Okay,
go.
No, you got beat.
Okay. No. Forget the word.
Okay.
Stop the word. I'm on limited time. Let's do it.
Okay. The sun.
The sun. Like I said, I believe in God and the sun. A lot of people don't understand that we out on the run. Moon. I need another word. I need the moon to move. A lot of people don't even get it, so we in the groove. Stars. That's the way that it is. I don't believe in these stars, but at the same time, I'm trying to take my music real far, and that's the way we go. From the underground right to above. A lot of people don't understand that we bubbling up. You get what I'm saying? You throw them words out way quicker.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I want speed. I want speed. Okay.
We're gonna start popsicle.
Popsicle, I take it down like a sickle. A lot of people don't understand that my what?
Cops.
I don't rock with the cops. That's just the way it is because I don't stop. And by the time that it's done, you can't put me in a box, lock me up. So the time I can't talk must be out of your mind. But I'm always on time. And I don't think what you said, but I'm always on time. So I'm about to hit the word and I'm down to rhyme. Say, flyer than a bird. A lot of people don't understand that I'm never this absurd, but I kick it with the nerds on the curb when I'm writing all these verbs and I'm stoned in a scone, whatever you want to call it. Pick it on home because it's 2 birds, 1 stone. Bringing it home. A lot of people don't understand that's the way that we roam. I think that's what you said. So my vocal tone, Sloan, whatever you want to call it, because you know I ain't a clone. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get your words. I'm having a hard time hearing the words.
I feel you.
Throwing leg drops like Hulk Hogan. Nah, but it's like what's crazy about doing
that's
that.
That's sick. Y'all be doing that just on.
Yeah, well, so it's like he has his style of doing that where it's like rhyming words.
I'm unpracticed.
Yeah, okay. Cool,
give me a couple months.
But no, see, but it's like this. It's like this. Like you do that just because it gets it going. You know
right.
But then it's like you up it a notch where you start freestyling where the words you throw, you use it. Like for me, I like to use it with the right definitions, with the right, it has to make meaning. And then to make it an entendre on your freestyle would be like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I've done those before, but it's like, for me, I want to charge motherfuckers. But no, I do it because I love it, right? Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like, you get to a point where, people actually appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, they actually appreciate what you're saying. So that's why I kind of stopped doing it. But I save it for certain, quote-unquote, for me, I save it for certain, bro, Sway in the Morning. Like, I'm going to kill Five Fingers of Death because that's a rite of passage for me as an MC. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go up to the LA League, like, whatever program on the mainstream platform where they're known for spitters, real spitters go there because they got to prove it to themselves and prove it to those audiences. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right there. But my man over here likes to do it, and we do that for fun. But it's like, I don't do it for fun like that as much before because it's like, when I go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love freestyle, I love flowing. And once I get warmed up into the mood, that's when it gets fun. Putting it on the spot, it's like, you're going to put me on the spot with a word and let me go with a word. Throw some words.
But the internet, bro, the internet's so harsh that's like you can't afford to be looked at as mediocre as like you're not on top. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you never looked mediocre, you've never been able to look human.
Of course.
Man, this was a dope.
Okay, well, before you leave, can we see a mixtape or album anytime soon?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I mean,
we just dropped one.
So Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children came out March 1st, and then
the mixtape wasn't even a month before that.
In February we dropped
the 7-year itch,
and then in 2020
Two Birds One Stone. Yeah. The 7-year itch, Two Birds One Stone.
Make sure y'all look them up. Two Birds One Stone.
Children.
Officialmusic.com. No, Two Birds One Stone Music. No, Two Birds One Stone Music.com. Two Birds One Stone Official Music on Instagram. Two Birds One Stone Official everywhere else. YouTube.
So Two Birds One Stone on like Spotify, Apple Music.
Two Birds.
Everything.
Space.
Title.
One Stone.
Everything. Amazon.
Google me, baby. No, some real shit. Google us and you'll see us pop up, and like it has everything linked up.
We're Googling, baby.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, nobody steal that.
Nah.
Don't steal that. We gotta
it's a Jay-Z. If you could tell the people one thing about yourself that we didn't cover today, what would you tell the people?
My first job is I'm a daddy and I'm a proud daddy. I can say that.
We didn't cover today. Fucking awesome.
Oh,
on some real stuff, like, you know, what we didn't cover today, in my opinion, is nothing. We covered everything. Like we're diverse. Like you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to come up to me, talk to me, and just have a conversation, because I love conversing with people. I love talking with people. You know what I'm saying? You can reach out to me on IG, you can reach out to me however you get in contact with me, and like I love working and collaborating and building with people. Right. Because at the end of the day, if we're living on this world for ourselves, yes, within the first ego, but also at the same time for the next person.
Right.
Everything I have, everything I own is going to go to somebody else. So, like, make sure it's the best possible thing I can pass down to either my son, a relative, something like that, or the next G. Lou. You know what I'm saying? The next Wreck-It Ralph, the next Two Birds One Stone. Pass down good art, pass down money, pass down something to somebody, because leave this earth greater than you got into it.
I hope we can do it again.
Facts.
I mean, that's serious. Like, sooner than later, because this was great.
Facts. Even if we can't do it right here, you know what I mean? I'll pull up with my Mac and we can just do it.
We can do it here.
Yeah.
We can do it here. This is dope.
We do it. We do wherever, man.
Let me give you a handshake, man.
Make sure y'all stay tapped in. You feel me?
Of course. Well, just because his interview's over.
Well, I'm saying that's my question.
Yeah, my interview's over too, bro.
Thank you, man.
Make sure y'all stay tapped in. That's been a moment with Louie. I appreciate you for tapping in.
Yeah.
And remember, Two Birds, One Stone, G. Lou, and a moment with Louie.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. You feel me?
About to wreck it.
So tap in.
He just
Come on,
wrecked
dog.
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I love this.
Yeah, I gotta go get my little 9-year-old now.